Awesome, man. Anyway, Pete from Show Me Slot Cars here, everyone. Ah, brilliant. Nice to have your company, Pete. How you doing?
Thanks for having me. Yeah, it's exciting. I don't think I've ever been on your show before. So
Yeah, I
thanks
don't
for
know.
having
Did you
me.
do a takeover or something when we used to do the takeovers? Do you remember those?
Yeah. Yeah, or somebody else takes it. No, I don't think so. I might have come on
Oh,
shenanigans once with you guys, but I don't think I've ever been. I'm
yeah.
usually asleep on the Sunday
Yeah.
show. So
Oh, it's hard, isn't it? It is
yeah,
a
because
tough
it's on at
call.
like
It's like Marty. He starts at, I think it's 12 or 1 o'clock, depending on where the time clock is at the of the year. It's like you
yeah.
try, but I get to quarter to 12 and I'm like, dish. And then I'm double tired and I didn't see the show.
Yeah. Well, and it's when your show comes on, it's like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning here. And I'm, if I'm awake and I get that message, I'm like, oh, I should be in bed.
Yeah, do not
Like
turn
I
on the
should
energy
not
on
be awake.
bunny.
I made some poor life decisions today if I'm awake that late.
Yeah, brilliant. So do you want to introduce what's your YouTube channel just so we can get that out of the bat and let people know where to go?
Yeah, so I'm Show Me Slot Cars. At Show Me Slot Cars. On YouTube. I've been doing the YouTube thing for I don't know, 2 or 3 years, I think.
Yeah, probably about that. Yeah, it's
Um,
coming along. Probably more 3, 4.
yeah, maybe. Yeah, I lose track, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
That means I'm still enjoying it, right? I don't do a whole lot of like regular videos like I used to. Joe and
Yeah,
I do the Saturday morning cartoons every other
and I love
Saturday
it.
morning.
Yeah.
Um, and Raul does it with us
Get
too,
the
but it
bell
bounces
going
back. Yeah,
when Rahul and Joey start bitching or swiping at each other. You're
yeah.
like,
And yeah, Joel hate me for saying this, but he's always like, "You guys always rag on me." I'm like, I think that's part of the reason why people wake up and watch us. Sorry, dude. Like,
yeah, they want to see get bailed out.
um, but yeah, so that's fun. We've been doing that a lot, and then the latest thing I've been working on is SlotSync, which is what we're here to talk
Yes.
about today. So
Yeah, absolutely. So what's the I mean, how did it come about? Whose idea was it? Let's start there. Where was the acorn planted and who grew it?
So it kind of like initially, long time ago, Joe and I had talked when we first met. We had talked about, he lives in Montreal in Canada, and I live down here in the U.S. in the middle of the United States, and we were always like, it's a long
Where
trip
are
to
you
travel
actually?
to go hang out together, but we wanted a way to sort of race or compete or that sort of thing. And initially, we were going to try to make a controller that could like connect to your track over Wi-Fi, and that failed miserably, and we could not could not do that well enough, like way beyond my pay grade. But and then more recently, probably like 2 years ago, year and a half ago, Mike from Big Oak, started coming in on our chats, and we would all get going, and we were kind of having the same thing where it's like he and I are at least a little bit closer,
Yeah.
in real life, but yeah, we started talking about like there's got to be a way that we can sort of sync our tracks and make our tracks, me race on mine and you race on
Yeah.
yours, and then that's sort of where actually like developing it and that sort of thing. I pulled in my brother, who he's on the Discord. He doesn't do YouTube, at least not yet. I've been trying to talk him into it, but he's got a
Yeah.
track in his basement now that he recently bought a house, and he's G Money Smackdown on on the Discord and in some of the chats. But
G
sort
Money
of the four of
Smackdown. It
us.
sounds like us going to the swap meet.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
G
what happens
Money
when you get home.
Smackdown. I'll have it.
Yeah. Or that's what happens when you get home from the from the swap meet, and the wife gives you the smackdown for how
That's
much
right.
money
Yeah,
is
but it's
spent.
just giving you like the people's elbow and stuff. That's it. Yeah.
um
Brilliant.
but yeah,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
it was the four of us. We sort of dubbed ourselves the founding fathers, and we started on a spreadsheet and really just sort of assigned difficulties to different Carrera track pieces, and started testing and tweaking and testing and tweaking. And then when the four of us had a pretty good
Oh,
idea,
wow.
we have four very different tracks,
Yeah.
and we were getting pretty close and pretty accurate. We pulled in some more people, and then just this past January 4th, we launched it as the full website with everything rolling. We collect dues, so it's $20 a year, and it's really just so that we can pay for the website hosting and
absolutely,
and that sort of thing. So, but yeah, the whole idea is that you enter your track into the database, all your track pieces.
Just visualize that. So if you have your track set up on the table, and then you go, right, so I've got all in all, I've got 6 straights, 3 R2s, 1 R1, 4 R1s, and blah, 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 blah. And then, so that's what you do. You enter in your track list like that.
It's actually in order on your track. So it automatically starts you with the start finish line. And then you say, I have 2 straights and then an R1 to the left.
Right.
And it visualizes it. So it draws the map of your track on the thing so you can make sure it's all correct. And then you can see once you're a member, you can see everybody else's track layout to sort of see what they're working with. And it factors in, like, you know, we know that an R1 after an R1 is a harder turn than an R1 after a straight. And so the whole formula calculates that, and it spits out a lap count. So once you enter that in, it tells you, okay, for your track, your length and your difficulty, you have to run, like, I have to run 18 laps. I think Mike has to run 10 laps. I think Joe has to run something like 12 or 13 laps. And so then you enter what car you're racing. We have a lot of brands in the system. I'm going to forget some of them, but we have Carrera cars. We have Revo Slot, MR Slot cars, Slot It, Scale Auto, BRM.
Probably easier to mention who you didn't have.
Yeah, probably. And we're adding more. We kind of we add a few brands, make sure that everything's working right, because there's always ones that we miss, because we have every single car that those manufacturers make. We always miss a few, but then we add some more and more in. And then so basically you choose your car, and then you have your track entered in the system, and you run your car with that many laps. So like mine is 18. Smart race
in the time that you got.
Correct. There's a little form you say submit, and it tells you, you know, what track did you run on, what car did you run on, and then what was your total time, and then your last lap. And you hit submit, and it puts out your time, which is an adjusted time based on because the thing is like, it tells me 18 laps, but really, to be even, it's supposed to be like 17 and a half laps. But Smart Race doesn't let you do a half lap. Right, it only lets you do whole laps. And so it cuts off that last lap, half of it, to get you your time, and it puts you on the leaderboard, and it compares.
AI's got an attitude.
Yeah.
It's my way or the highway.
So yeah, I mean, and that's the gist of it. That's how we started, with just a leaderboard, and then we realized that that's fun and interesting, but then we added weekly championships. And so now we have where that leaderboard lives forever. It's kind of like our club records, like, you know, the fastest times ever.
If you've got the permanent track and you've had one for ages, and then you guys pop up and go, yeah, you need this layout to do this. And you're like, I can't do that because I haven't got that layout, but I can zoom around my track with SlotSync. And is it SlotSync.com?
SlotSync.
Sorry,
SlotSync Racing.
God damn it. So many spots and smarts and scalies and all sorts. Sorry, mate.
That's all right.
Get us an Uber. Right. So anyway, yes. So the people with permanent like tracks, and at the moment it's Carrera. Is that right?
It's Carrera only, because we can only compare Carrera tracks to Carrera tracks. Once we get to the point where, and that's what I have, and that's what the other founding fathers had, so it was easy to test. Lots of people have asked to do Scalextric, and one day we will. Right now, we're at the point where, like, we're not even
get it right on first thing.
Yeah, and we're not even like, it's not even paying for itself right now. Like, it is through September, but we need more members to get it so that it will pay for itself for the whole year. Once we get that rolling and get it set up, because adding Scalextric would add a whole new cost and website and everything to it. And so we want to make sure we can,
don't mind,
that this thing is viable. But
That's okay for us.
yeah, sure. Okay, it's $20 to join for Carrera. It's $100 for Scalextric. Join
This
on
is a
up.
pyramid scheme. This is a Ponzi.
Yeah, right. But we will be looking
Oh,
eventually for some people to help us test that, because I'm not going to buy a Scalextric track just to test it, but some trusted folks can certainly
I'll send you some, mate.
for me.
I got a load here. I'll send you some. It'll be a pleasure.
But yeah, so you got to have Carrera track and Smart Race, and that's it. And you can run digital or analog. You can run, like I said, any of those brands of cars. You can chip those cars, or you can run them analog. Smart Race has analog timing.
Oh yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. And then we have weekly championships that are just, we call them sprints. And then once per month for each of the racing classes. So for example, we have like modern GT and NASCAR and prototypes and Formula One. Those each have their own little championship. And then at the once a month, you do an endurance race. So that's a 20-minute race. Same car, you do it with fuel on, and then you get a mileage or kilometers for you guys.
That's like a whole third of a lunch break.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's serious.
When we used to do it, when we first started, there was an endurance race every week. And so, and then when we added a bunch of more championships at the same time, we were like, oh, in order to do this, to compete in all of these, you have to race for 8.5 hours every week.
Yeah,
it's like, no, nobody's doing that. So, but of course, I just made the joke in our Discord group that the idea was that we were doing it only once a month, so that you only have to do that. You can spread it out over the month. Yeah. And then this week is the last week of the month, and I haven't done any of mine. So I have to do like all of them.
8.5 hours, yeah.
So I'm going to be staying up late tonight.
That's it. You can start warming up now while we're chatting.
Right. So, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun. We have 30 paid members right now. We're offering a free trial. In order to sign up, sorry, go ahead.
SlotSync.com.
Yep, SlotSyncRacing.com.
Thought I messed up again then you for a second.
That's all right. It's all right.
No, it's really not.
But yeah, in order to join, you got to have a sponsor, and that's just somebody who's already in the club, so that they can help you get your track entered correctly and everything. So you can pick just about anybody on the list. They'll help you out.
That can show you around like a tutorial bot human.
Yeah, so you have some direct person that you can talk to and ask questions to. But then we add you to a private Discord, and you can ask questions there too. And then, like I said, it's first 30 days are free for you to give it a trial run.
Just for some of the viewers, does Discord cost money?
No, Discord's free. Discord's completely free. It's a lot like WhatsApp, except closer, somewhere between WhatsApp and a forum.
Yeah, Discord's the modern day chat forum from the early noughties.
Correct.
But much more colorful, visual, emoji, and interactive.
Yeah, you can do voice chats, you can do video chats. There's a bunch of boards and forums and all kinds of stuff. That one is called Slot Yard on Discord. And then we have a section in there just for SlotSync Racing. But there's a lot of cool stuff going on in the big Discord.
Wow, sounds so live now. You can get racing. Doesn't matter what size track you've got or what car you have, because the clever computer works it out against other size tracks and other cars within the class, obviously. And then you have a sort of loosely fair competition where you're based on your ability of driving. It's very clever. It's very clever. And I think it's just going to, expose people like me as being bad racers.
I mean, it's exposed me.
It's great. I mean, it's like a good idea. It's a different animal. And no, I'm just well done, mate, because it is genius.
And I had a lot of help from Mike and Joe and Gerard, and then our beta testers, and then the club members. Now we've tweaked lots of things even the last 2 or 3 months since we went like officially live. And it's been a lot of fun. We've added brands, we've changed up how the championship works. It's a lot of fun. We do
actually. Do you have to ask the brands if you can include them onto this software because it's like commercial licensing, or is it just hobby? We're going to do it because people have got your cards that have technically already invested in you.
Correct.
Because
It's not like we're
I
not.
don't approach any manufacturers, for the clips I use on the show. I think if I
Right.
show it on the show, it's like free advert, mate. Wind it in.
Yeah, and if anything, like a lot of us members joke that we've bought more cars in the past 3 months than we've ever bought before, so we can compete in some of the championships. That like we should partner with Warren or
Rahul's rubbing off on you.
Yeah, right. we should get a deal with how many dang cars we've been buying and how many cars.
What was the last car you bought?
Well, I started getting into white kits, so
hello. Is that
Legend.
A coupe? Is that a coupe?
Yeah, it's the Chevy sedan. Pioneer Legends.
Nice. Yeah.
Because I've been racing those and having fun.
I haven't got that one. I've got the other.
Yeah, and then I bought a bunch of 124s because we have 124 championships too. So I bought some of those just to do the race, and those are fun.
It keeps getting better. So it's multi-scale, of course, because it's Carrera.
Yep. So Carrera, and then we have Scale Auto 124 also in the mix, and then BRMs in 124s too. So there's fewer cars to pick from, but it's still a pretty healthy championship. So
does it take much? I mean, does it take much to maintain an update and data entry and changing things within the back end of maintaining this kind of program and software and website and social media and emailing? Just some of the things you might have to do.
Fortunately, all the data entry is automatic. It's basically, the website is essentially, it's a database that has a fancy skin on it, and so that part's super easy. It's just making sure that everything goes to the right place. And I mean, you mentioned AI earlier. I use AI to write the website and to update the database and that sort of thing. There are some things that, like when we make big changes, that takes a lot of effort and changes and that sort of thing. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It's pretty like I was just joking with Mike this morning that like it's gotten to that point where it's almost self-sustaining, like no big, huge changes that we need to fix going forward.
That's what you want.
Yeah, so there's a whole lot less time spent on it. Every once in a while we get something weird that's like, oh yeah, this isn't
so
working.
you're getting the time back now. Good. So you can develop Scalextric. See what I did there?
Well, fortunately,
you walk right into it.
It's so funny because the other 3 founding fathers warned me of this, and that's where this conversation was gonna go. But it's look. The good thing is
I'm so impressed that you got it off the ground, man. I'm only pulling your leg.
No, I know. And
as we say,
once we get to that stage, it's really just figuring out what the difficulty for the Scalextric track pieces are. Everything else will be identical.
Scalextric or Scalauto or Polycut. Because once you got the model and the formula, which it sounds like you're literally sort of almost on the cusp of grasping. Can't wait, mate. I mean, the future, because look, looking around in the hobby, we're young guns. So, we've got quite a healthy shot at the hobby. At least 10 years, maybe 15 for you. You stopped smoking, you see. So you've just saved 5 coffin nails.
Gave a few off.
So no, fair play to you, mate. No, I'm really excited, and thank you ever so much for coming on and chatting. I think we should round it up there but no, I appreciate it, and good luck with the venture, Pete.
Thank you so much.
Draw. No, you're welcome. Right then, so I will get back to the show.